I've done it. I've taken off my roof. Look, more light. Oh, amazing. Anyway, if you want to see how I did that, keep watching and let's dive in. What you guys, welcome to Game Day. Yeah, so I took my roof off of the rig and I've made a few alterations here, there and everywhere else. And this is that video. So let's get on with it. So as you can see, there's a lot of stuff up on this roof and I've decided to remove the roof. So we're going to have to get rid of all this stuff. It's going to have to find a home somewhere, but that's for later. And let's get cracking. We'll just start removing all the bits. So I started off by removing the bits. Now, quite a lot of this video is going to be all sped up, obviously. It made a handy storage, this unit up above for stuff, and it also was pretty good for deadening the sound of the microphone. But it was also very dark, very hard to see down in there, and I had to have a lot of light shining right in my face and stuff like that. So I wanted to do some different types of videos, and basically I needed some more light. So this is what we're doing. We're just clearing this up now. Cuddly toy collection that I've had since I was a kid. That Womble was from when I was really young, when the Wombles first came out, so I would have been in the 70s. Since I started YouTube, I've collected a lot of gadgets, bits and bobs. So these are my VR cables. So the roof was handy for things like this, running cables across the top. Quite a lot of cables that's got to come out. So we're doing a complete revamp of this today. To strip it right down back to just the dashboard, really. And you can see it's mainly just hardboard, with a few screws in it here and there. A lot of duct tape. The white cable is the Ethernet cable, which runs outside the building and goes down to my router. One mistake you'll see that I did make when I was doing this was I used some double-sided sticky, like a tape, but it's like felt stuff. Oh, it's an absolute nightmare. Once I took this all off, to get it off, just need to get to this edge. Very hard to do and hold the camera at the same time with one hand. But once we got there, we then moved on. I just need to untangle this jungle of wires and remove it all. Because the idea is that monitor that I'm standing in front of there, I'm going to be moving across over to above the actual main 3 monitors, because that's a better monitor than the rest of them. At one time I did have 5 monitors going on here, but there's just no need for 5. 3 and a chat mic will do for what I'm hoping to be doing with the streaming, etc. And you can see it's a real jungle here. There's an old surround sound amp over there that I haven't used for over a year. That can all go. There's no need for any of that stuff. Once upon a time, this was a really tidy, well cable managed setup. It just all changed over time, as it does. I didn't want to do this with lots of really fancy editing, so that it was all, Instagrammed, if you like. I just wanted to show you how it really is with all the mess and the cables and what you don't really see behind us, because I had quite a lot of people asking me to show the setup, how it was and how it is. So once that was done, then we start removing these bits of hardboard. Yeah, get the trusty knife out. That's it. Cut it off. I don't know where this foam back stuff came from, but I acquired it from somewhere. I got loads of it down in the garage. Need to cut it all off. Battery lights, need to unscrew all of these. Take off a bit of the felt, some various little gadgets that I had hanging over my head. I'm a great one for just putting screws in everything and then hanging cable clips off of them and stuff like that. Do all these screws. As you can see in the background, I'm actually doing some downloading off of my hard drive to a spare hard drive while all this is going on, because that's a job that takes ages for backups of videos, etc. The best time to do it is when you can do something else. We just cut all this off. It did serve its purpose. It was supposed to look like a headlining of a truck. At one point it had little cupboards like the truck lockers going across the top. That one feels pretty loose now, so we can have that one off. I think first off we'll have a little tidy up of this. Tidy all this up, put it all into a black bag. As you can see, I had quite a few nuts and bolts holding bits here and there, so you get the old knockometer out, and we good old screwdriver was in there pretty tight. I had to smash it out in the end. Got that out. I thought, that's the result. Pulled that little bit off there, and then realised, oh no, there's another one. So I won't bother showing you that, but those coach bolts need coming out. As you can see, they were just sheets of hardboard. Because the idea was originally it was all going to be hardboarded, like even the back of it and everything. You can see already there's more light, a lot more mess. You need to strip all of this lot out now. Started by just ripping everything off. Just remove my monitors. These are 32-inch TVs. And then what I done was I put a different colour cable tie around each different HDMI so that I knew which one went to what when I plugged it back in. Saved having to rearrange my displays, etc. on the actual computer. So my idea is to move my camera across from here onto this bracket, which is a monitor bracket. I'm going to make a bracket up, so I'm just going to do some measurements and hold that up there with some measurements for where the holes are. And this is going to be a camera bracket to bring the camera more central rather than at that angle. And then next to that, on my right hand side is where I'm going to put the monitor, just there. So if we head off down to the garage, rickety old house, and into the darkness. This is a working workshop because I'm obviously still working, so it's no fancy editing, no fancy angles, and I'm not a YouTube woodworker. I'm just going to use my cheap old little saw. That's a bit of pallet that I glued together. I do like stripping pallets. I make a bit of furniture out of pallets. So. My favourite tool in the garage, because I'm so lazy, just does the trick so good. One of the best things I bought. We're not doing no fancy editing. This is just wherever I can put the camera down, just to show you. It's going to make this bracket. So I wanted a bit of flexibility with where the camera is. Just basically making an L bracket and just make them holes a little bit bigger. We can get the bolts through now. Audi drill. I've got good drills, but the Audi ones are just as good. I'm just going to fix that onto there. A few pilots. A real lash up job. Doesn't matter. This was just an experiment to see if it works. I actually split the wood there, but never mind. It does work, and now I'm going to make a proper good one for it. With a spoiler there. It actually worked. The idea is to stick this ball head, which is on a quick release, onto the actual bracket, like so, and then the camera will mount to that, and it'll just give me a bit more flexibility with where I can move the camera around and what I can do with it. Up a bit off of that. That's the attachment for the ball head on the bottom of that. We need to just mark that up and then make an indent for the bottom part of the bolt so that it sits flush. And then we'll put some pilots in and screw it down. There's no weight to my camera, so it doesn't need to be super strong. Have one in that side, and that should do it. We'll just run that up and put it back on the bracket. You see, it's just a monitor bracket. I've turned the other way up. And then this is my softbox light. So I got myself a 3x2, and I fitted it all together downstairs so it was ready, because I don't want to screw into the wall anymore. So I just mounted it onto this 3x2, ran the cables, and then I'm putting a bracket at the front and a bracket at the back, which I'll show you later on in the video. And then it just gets it up right above me. I'm hoping that the softbox light will give a nice softer light onto the monitors for when I want to stream the game. It's a theory, but we're not sure if it's going to work. Either way, it'll give a better light in this room. So, and once that was fitted, it was time to give it a big clean up. A good old Wix's Hoover out. Not sponsored by Wix or anything. That's just some leather cloth that's sitting across the top of that dashboard, which is just raised up off of the desk. And then the dash itself is just a front, really, if you like, with the buttons all on it. Pretty straightforward. Let's give it a bit of a spray, make it smell nice. We're going to leave that other monitor bracket where it is at the back there, in case I decide to use it for something else, because it's actually fixed nice to the wall there. I don't really want to just have big holes behind there, so just clean everything up. And there you can see is the softbox. And there's those brackets I was talking about. I've just chucked a couple of brackets, one in front, one behind, screwed it to the desk underneath. We've got our cables, so our camera's up now. This is the remote control for the camera. And then I've got the monitor, better monitor there now. Hopefully I'll be able to read the chat messages and stuff like that. I've also put some diffuser over that light. I'm going to leave the frame because I do like to attach things and try different things out. Oh guys, it's time for the big reveal. I'm in my granddaughter's bedroom at the moment, and I'll show you in a minute. I still didn't manage to get everything put away. As you can see, there's stuff still everywhere, but I have got the room running again, so I thought I'd walk in throughout the thing, and then we'll make some changes to the lighting once I show you all around. Anyway, it's about 9:30 at night now. I've been at it constantly. It's still like 23 degrees in there. I've got a fan running. It's really hot, so sorry about any noise that you can pick up, but okay, let's go for it. Let me just turn that fan off for a minute. Okay. I should put some lights on in a second, so you can have a good look around. But as you can see, we're all back on rain and no roof. So first thing that's changed obviously is there's no roof. As you can see, you can now see my picture that's been there the whole time, but you just couldn't see it. I'm going to flick on because one of the major changes that I've done was put in this softbox in here and put a bit of light on the situation. So if I come over here, I don't want to blind you all, but it's up there, as you can see. And we've got our other lights back up. They're a little bit further back than they were because they weren't able to go over there. We've got a little blue light that shines on the wall there. So if we start from, let's start over here. So basically, as you come in, there's still some shelves with still some mess on them as usual, but not too bad. I'm going to hand it over to the other microphone. Here you can see it's just some of my gear for various things in my old microphones. There's some all plastic cheap old drawers full of Boya mics and lapel mics, lavalier mics, GoPro stuff. My head tracker's in there because I still haven't got that working. A couple of tripods, all stuff really that I'll use mainly on the other channel, to be honest with you. There's just some drawers that have got copiers in and things. So this was one of my favourite little things I've got, is my little headphone amp. And that means 4 of us can come up. When the wife comes in, she can have a listen to the video at the same time on the headphones as me. And we've got another light up here. I think they call them fill lights or hair lights. We've got my headphones. Got quite a lot of different headphones for different things. I tend to just wear the one set all the time. There's the old PC. And as you can see, it's a bit tidier back there now. So there's just some of my other bits up there. Use these shelves. It's just a bit neater. Now I love this thing because it's remote control lights. So we can turn that on and off and set the different colour. It's a bi-colour light. We've got the Go XLR, which I don't use to its full potential, to be honest with you. It's got loads of strange things you can do. And then my mic stand comes out. There's my Almar shifter. Still going strong, still working well. And then there's my dashboard that we made. So that's my button box that I bought off of BJB. And then the dashboard part I actually made myself and wired all the buttons up. So they're all linked to different bits in ETS. And this one is my park brake, hazards. And we got the quick release that we put on the video the other week, which I love because that means I can take it off out of the way. It's brilliant. And then you got a PS3i camera there, and then you can see there's the camera on the Budget and Scarpa bracket. So that's just a camcorder running there. It's a Sony CX625. We got my favourite tool, my Stream Deck, which is just so brilliant. But you've all seen videos on Stream Decks. And I've got my indicators just to the left of the wheel. And there you can see the actual pedals. Buttons here are all rigged up to different things, world map, and then I've got my view Just look left and look right and look outside. Move it to the right and off it goes. Now I am obviously using the smooth interior camera. No, my Stream Deck is just, I do everything using this, literally. All my video editing, it's got everything on here. If we go into profiles, I've got a different profile for everything. This one's my live stream profile. And I use quite a lot as a gaming profile, which I've got some WAS and D keys. But the best one is for the fly cam. Instead of pressing the numbers and stuff, I can just go forward, backward, up and down. And the rest of it nice and quickly. More gaming buttons. If we press the actual truck one, you can see there's the Mod Studio 2 Stream Deck plugin, which Werewolf is working on some more buttons and stuff for. All my OBS is all connected via it. Just open up Chrome. But yeah, I love my Stream Deck game. So as you can see, I say this seems to have a backlight issue with blue LEDs. I've watched a couple of videos on how to get rid of that, but it means taking the tellies apart. I'm just not so sure I'm going to be bothered to do that. So I'm going to try and have a fiddle with settings and see if I can get rid of it. This bracket here is where my other camcorder is going to be mounted, aimed down at these to actually do the streams, if I can get them to look better than that, because that's got this blue tint. And I've got blue lights on around the room, but even with the blue lights off and full lighting on, it's still the same. So this is my new mic that you're listening to right now. This is a Bayer Dynamic Ultra Voice. It's just a dynamic mic. I thought I'd give it a try with a dynamic mic for a little while. And believe it or not, this microphone, they're only about 15 quid on Amazon. And the sound's brilliant. It's nearly as good as my SM58. And I think it's actually better than what I have been using, which was a condenser mic, which is this one here. And this is a good mic. It's got a nice sound to it, but it just didn't work properly under those situations with that roof on. I've gone to this dynamic mic, and we're giving that a go to see what you guys think of that. I've had a listen back. It's a bit better. So yeah, so that is my setup, guys. I've got some more lights that go on down here and stuff, but I didn't bother putting them on, because it has been one hell of a day and a very hot me. I'm going to go and jump in the shower, and I'm going to catch you and see you all soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.